I would say to women particularly to really believe in themselves, and if they have an idea or whatever, or a dream of what they want to do, to go for it, you know, and to get whatever support you feel you need around you, but not to stop trying, you know, and persist. And you know, quiet determination will get you very, very far. Maybe not as fast as you'd like, but you will get there in the end. I loved the material so much that it never felt like a chore, and that's just thanks to Slavenka's writing of the book, because the book was so unsentimental and you just felt everything that the character went through, and she didn't try and play your emotions, she didn't try and evoke a response, and I just always wanted to be true to that material, and obviously to the women who had been through the experience themselves. There were elements in the book that I didn't include in the film because I think it would be just too much to take, really, and I tried to structure it with respect to an audience, because with a book you can always put it down and come back to it, but obviously a film you can't, so you're trying to structure it in a way that you know, you come down into the darkness but come back up again towards hope in the end. The idea of a director being like a mother, a good mother, you know, to kind of look after people, bring out the best in people, try and foresee any problems that might arise in the future, you know, and in that sense to nurture everybody. And I think that for me was a really lovely model, and it kind of broke down the idea of this alpha male director, and it made it, you know, that really your level of care is what matters. And of course women are so great at multitasking, so we're like naturally born directors.
The only time I've ever watched the film, because I edited it myself, it was hard going, and the only time I've ever watched it was in Tullamore at the cast screening, and I was so nervous, and I said I can never go through that ever again watching it, because they talked throughout the whole thing, so I just presumed they all hated it. Inspiration was my own mother, I guess. I'd made a short film called Undressing My Mother as a student in film school, and the next step for me was to make a feature. So I kind of looked to the world around me, and I thought, could I explore something like Undressing My Mother but in a bigger kind of scale, and kind of came up with this idea about telling a love story via lots of different women, and women that reminded me of my own mammy, and kind of His&Hers grew out of that, really. So I guess, you know, it was my own mother that inspired it, but it kind of grew from there, and it became sort of a different beast as the story progressed.
The issues in some contexts are really horrendous, and I think through Juanita's movie earlier, for anyone that was here, it's quite disturbing. But that's the reality of a lot of women's experiences, and a lot of the countries we work in, where that's a daily experience of violence, or post-conflict contexts where violence is so normalised.